You're watching GV Kids Inc. News with your anchors Brendan Beaver and Sammy Ginsberg. Coming up on this edition of GV Kids Inc. News, get the latest update on the development of Village Green's North Park, learn about improvements that are planned for the Bellevue and Quebec intersection, hear what the police department is saying about crime on light rail, plus see how one event attracted many of our four-legged friends in the community. All this and more coming up right here on GV Kids Inc. News.
Hello, welcome to GV Kids Inc. News. I'm Brendan Beaver.
And I'm Sammy Ginsberg. Thank you for joining us.
A new park is in the making, and it's all happening right here in Greenwood Village. GV Kids Inc. News reporter Grace Stahl has more on the construction of Village Green's North Park.
The proposed improvements to Village Green's North are taking shape with work having commenced on the first three phases of the project. The three phases include the relocation of the maintenance buildings, pond and irrigation improvements, and construction of a single-track mountain bike course and disc golf course. All these improvements are planned to ensure the park's natural character stays in place and meet the needs of people who will play here.
The maintenance buildings are currently located in right smack dab in the middle of the park, and there was a desire to move those to a location that was further offset from the rest of the park. The maintenance shed was completed in June of 2012 this year. The pond and irrigation portion of this project included the actual construction of a larger pond. There was another pond here existing. This pond is actually now an amenity to the park, but it functions a better purpose and a greater purpose, that being that it provides irrigation water to the Village Greens park itself and the fields that Cherry Creek High School and the village uses for sports and activities. The mountain bike course is actually a single track mountain bike course. It's about 2.75 looped miles around Village Green's North Park, where there will be a number of different obstacles that mountain bike riders can use, including switchbacks and logs, as well as rock gardens. The disc golf course is actually going to be done slightly before that. We're actually under construction right now, and we'll see that completed probably in October, but that's going to be an 18-hole disc golf course.
With the first three phases of the project being completed this fall, phase 4 and 5 of the project still remain to be constructed. City staff says construction will not begin on these phases until there's funding available to complete the improvements.
In phase 4, it includes the construction of a main entry to the park, as well as some shelter, a shelter improvement at the pond, and a restroom facility as well. Phase 5, on the other hand, it's the construction of a bouldering area as well as a playground area. These particular phases have not been actually funded by council at this point. The city will be looking at various funding sources, including the village's own capital improvement project and outside of the city funding sources, such as a Arapahoe County Open Space Program and Great Outdoors Colorado, to assist with funding of these two future phases.
This is an exciting time for Greenwood Village with the development of Village Green's North. Watch for construction updates and grand opening information in the months ahead. I am Grace Stahl, back to you in the studio.
Village Green's North Park is located at 9501 East Union Avenue, across from Cherry Creek High School. The park can also be accessed by a loop trail system with connection to the Cherry Creek Regional Trail and Cherry Creek State Park.
For all you Lexus fans, you are getting one step closer to being able to shop for your new Lexus dream car in Greenwood Village. Construction of the new Lexus dealership is underway, and from the looks of things, it's giving a whole new look for the area at Bellevue Avenue and Quebec Street.
Well, we first started with tearing down the old hotel. You know, there were 3 hotels here originally. There were 2 remaining when Cooney Automotive purchased this tract of land. First thing we chased the vagrants out, and then we did the asbestos abatement, and then the next thing we did was demo the structures, demo all the footings and foundations. Then we removed 90,000 square yards of soil from the site. The very next thing that we did was start with the foundations and footings and upward construction of the project that you see behind me. We're about 35% complete today. And what you see behind us is they're now starting to enclose a structure of the showroom being in front. The parking structure has been completed. We're final pouring out the floors. We've had to put all the waterproofing in both the roofs, and it has an outdoor patio designed to hold 8 vehicles for display, and also a park-like setting up on the balconies. And that has been waterproofed and it's ready to pour. The next project that we would have after this is starting putting up the exteriors and putting the windows in the building. Then we would go to putting the interior in, all the millwork. All of the woodwork from this building is being manufactured right now, cut from Canadian hardwoods. There's an extensive wooden frame structures and millwork all through the dealership. I would like to say that this dealership probably reminds me more of a Four Seasons or a Ritz-Carlton than it does an automotive dealership. Well, we had the National Lexus Automotive Dealers Association meeting here, and that's their national meeting, and so they brought in all the Lexus dealers from around the country. They were all just blown away. They said it's going to be the most beautiful Lexus dealership in the United States, if not the world. They also were very flattering in saying they've never seen as much technical information put into the deal. You know, we have all wireless systems. The whole dealership is entirely wireless. And the people who helped me design the electronic systems on the inside of the space also did the new NORAD headquarters down in Colorado Springs. So it's quite technically advanced. It has a 35-foot waterfall on the inside. It has a glass floor with car displays above it. So there's a lot of uniqueness in this dealership that I think people are going to have to come in and just see. The grand opening will be established at some point, the special festivities, and I'm sure there'll be something quite unique. But the actual certificate of occupancy and when they can move into the building is right now the end of March 2013.
Watch for news about the new Lexus dealership and the grand opening event on the city's Facebook page in the months ahead.
Frustrated motorists who travel through the Bellevue Avenue and Quebec Street intersection will soon have relief from traffic delays and congestion. Our Carly Brody has more on this important traffic project.
More than 60,000 vehicles travel through this intersection every day, and 7,000 during peak hours, resulting in 21 accidents in 2011. This is such an important traffic project that federal funding was made available to make these improvements possible.
The improvements that are planned for the Bellevue-Quebec intersection are adding additional northbound lanes, adding an additional pedestrian crossing, just striped crosswalk on the east leg of the intersection, and changing the signal timing so that the northbound and southbound vehicles can go at the same time. The reasons for these improvements at the Bellevue and Quebec intersection are to increase capacity, which will reduce delays, while also allowing the mobility of pedestrians to access the light rail station that's on the north side of this intersection. The total cost for this project, design and construction, is roughly $1.5 million. The City of Greenwood Village has received $1 million in funding from the federal government, and then the remaining $500,000 is made up of local Metro District funding, Cooney Lexus funding, and then Greenwood Village funding. The overall outcome that we look to achieve with the improvements that were being made to the Bellevue-Quebec intersection are to reduce congestion and vehicle delays at the intersection, both now and in the future. We look at this to make sure that once development occurs to the north and is built out, that these improvements will still accommodate that future traffic demand as well.
In addition to the new improvements, the Bellevue and Quebec intersection is installed with photo red light cameras to help encourage drivers to slow down and obey the traffic rules. We will be reporting back in the future on whether these improvements helped reduce the photo red light citations given to motorists at this intersection and reduced accidents overall. I'm Carly Brody reporting for GV Kids Inc. News.
Thanks, Carly.
The Greenwood Village Arts and Humanities Council hosted its first annual Bark for Art dog walk to raise funds for arts programs. Carly Brody was at Westlands Park to capture all the canine fun.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Today is the perfect day to let your dogs out at Westlands Park to take part in some fun festivities and exciting dog activities, all for a great cause in our community. I'm here with Leslie today. Leslie, could you tell us a little bit about this event?
Well, we've got a 3K dog walk and art festival happening here at Westlands Park, and it started at 8 a.m. and we did a 3K dog walk, and now we've got all these wonderful artists who are doing demonstrations and prize giveaways.
Could you tell us why this event is so important?
Well, the Greenwood Village Arts and Humanities Council is the group that's behind this event, and we're raising funds for art programs, and specifically public art. We hope to fill our city with public art over the years to come.
This is Ursa, and who is this?
This is Esther.
Hi, Esther.
We're the Denver Dumb Friends League. We're an animal shelter, and we've been around since 1910.
We are here today with Pam from Max Fund, and who's this?
This is Andy. He's up for adoption. He's a little Min Pin Chihuahua mix.
Tell us a little bit about this van.
This is the Caravan. It's our mobile adoption unit. So what we do is we take it around to different events, like this one, and we bring along adoptable cats and dogs.
Well, this exposes our animals to people in the public so that they have an interest possibly in adopting our animals.
We're out here to support this community, pets in the community, and kind of get out the awareness about adoptable pets as well. You know, obviously we've got some good animals with us today. We want to get them exposure and hopefully find them homes.
This event was available. I was approached and they asked me if I would come, and I was excited about it because being new to getting out and getting involved in these fair type things, I am a self-taught welder. I wanted to work with metal, so I grabbed a little welder and got going. And it started with mostly birds, and now I'm getting into a lot of dogs.
Thank you so much for your time, Dee Dee. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
We are here at the MPV Mobile Vaccination Clinic, where dog owners can make sure that their pets' vaccinations are up to date. An important responsibility for not only dog owners, but also for the safety of our pets. I'm here with Dr. Teague. So Dr. Teague, could you tell us a little bit about the importance of vaccinations?
Well, it would be the same as with human vaccinations. When dogs are around and exposed to other pets, there's viruses, some airborne, some on the ground, that they can be exposed to. We do low-cost pet vaccinations. So we go to different pet store locations, groomers, and usually once a month at each location, and offer the low-cost vaccinations so that people are able to keep those vaccinations up without it costing them an arm and a leg.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Teague.
You're very welcome.
Whether you came today with or without your dog, it was a great turnout for the village's first Bark for Art event. And from the looks of things, many of our four-legged friends had a great time as well. Until next year, I'm Carly Brody reporting for GV Kids Inc. News.
What a great fundraising event with so many cute dogs. If you are interested in adopting a new pet, visit the Denver Dumb Friends League or Max Fund.
The site of the former Country Dinner Playhouse has been turned into a one-stop shop with all kinds of goodies for restaurants. Our GV Kids Inc. News Camp reporters have all the details on this exclusive one-stop wholesaler.
Today we're celebrating the opening of Restaurant Depot in Greenwood Village, the place where restaurants shop.
1, 2, 3. Yay!
I'm here with Mayor Ron Rakowski. So Mayor, how do you feel about the opening of Restaurant Depot?
I am really excited. It's a great addition to our city, and it supports our many restaurants and bars, and the entire community will benefit as a result of having this great purveyor of food, particularly fresh produce and frozen products.
We're here with Mr. Herbers in the Greenwood Village Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Herbers, what do you think, what's the benefits of Restaurant Depot?
Well, the first thing that people in the community will notice is that they create a lot of jobs here. They'll employ a lot of people in our community, and we always like that because we like people in our community to thrive along with businesses. And I think that the restaurants and the not-for-profits that they serve and the other businesses that they serve in the community will find this to be a very convenient, well-done location for them to shop and get supplies and food for their restaurants. So they're very excited that Restaurant Depot opened today.
Well, thank you, Mr. Herbers.
Thank you.
What makes Restaurant Depot different from other restaurant warehouse supply store?
Well, we are a wholesale food operation that supplies dry and perishable products to your local mom and pop restaurants. You need a business license or a nonprofit organization license, a resale license of some sort to shop with us. It's free of charge. You just need to bring in your business license, and we will give you a card. When you enter the building, you scan your card, and that way we know you're in the building, and when you check out, they scan your card, and that way we know that you're supplying the product to your own restaurant. So it's business to business.
So it's just open to restaurant business owners?
And many other different owners as well. We sell cleaning supplies, we sell cups, napkins, paper plates, to-go boxes, anything that you can imagine that a business would need to operate.
Why did they choose Greenwood Village to build this Restaurant Depot?
Well, we do have a current location in Denver, downtown Denver. I built that store about a year and a half ago. The need for a Restaurant Depot was we needed to. And the location off of the freeway and what a great city Greenwood Village is, you couldn't ask for a better location.
What are some of the restaurants that would come to buy things at Restaurant Depot?
Basically your local mom and pop restaurants. You don't see too much of the chains. And when I say a chain, meaning an Outback restaurant or an IHOP, who we cater to are the smaller mom and pop restaurants. Anthony's across the street, three Margaritas, the Family Mexican Restaurant, Las Brisas, is a customer of ours, thousands.
Yeah, they must be lucky so they could just walk over here and buy what they need.
Across the street, yeah.
I'm here with a shopper from Restaurant Depot. Why do you shop here?
Prices.
And why is the store convenient for you?
I come from Elizabeth, so now it's half the distance that I used to travel.
Thank you. Why is this store convenient?
It's close by. It's a lot closer than the other store up north.
Why do you like shopping?
Because I can get what I need real quick and I don't have to wait for a delivery truck.
Okay. And why is this store convenient?
It's close to where I work, so it only takes a few minutes out of my day to get what I need.
Thank you.
It has been a great day at Restaurant Depot. If you're a restaurant owner, come over here to buy products. Back to you in the studio.
Restaurant Depot will be open 7 days a week to serve their customers. The opening of the Greenwood Village location is a part of the company's expansion and growth of building 10 stores a year across the country. What a great job by our junior reporters.
Yes, it really was. The Village Center Station has grown into a popular destination for visitors. In October, the area attracted attendees of the Urban Land Institute's National Conference to learn how Greenwood Village has approached development around light rail. And from what we heard, the visitors were quite impressed.
The Urban Land Institute is probably the premier international interdisciplinary real estate organization that covers all components of real estate development. And there's about 30,000 members. We have 5,500 here in town for our big fall annual conference. Comes to Denver every 6 to 8 years. It circulates around the country. So it gives us a chance to show off what we've been doing in evolution of development and activities in Denver in all sectors, as well as a chance for practitioners to come and learn from us what we're doing here so they can take home to where they live and see if they can learn some things that might be helpful. Today this is specifically showing off our light rail system that all of us worked so hard to put in place over the last 15 or 20 years. And it's a chance to show them the acceleration and concentration of development and the mix of uses that have now occurred around the light rail transit stops.
Well, very impressed with what we're seeing here, and
lots of lessons to take home. So these conferences, I think, are always very useful, particularly these mobile workshops where you actually get out and see things firsthand. And there's nothing like experiencing it in the flesh and talking to the people that help to make it all happen. It's very, very valuable.
The development is just totally stimulating. It's super fun to take the rail and see all the stops and how Denver is really handling the development at the stations. It's really an improvement. You guys are struggling with some of the same situations we have, is how do you, once the light rail is there, how do you get from A to Z after you land at the rail station? But the developments here are really a proven statement that the light rail system has merit, and I can see in this Glenwood station, I haven't really looked around, I don't know where all your residential, I'm sure residential is coming. It's a really, it's a beautiful station. You guys have done a really great job, and the pedestrian connection over the freeway was critical, right?
Well, in being consistent with what's happened along the entire light rail system, we're in the process of planning and rezoning our property to create the opportunity for a mix of uses, retail, residential, and office, that will fit in to the fabric of what's already been created up and down the entire light rail corridor.
In the months ahead, the city officials say they continue to work with property owners in the Village Center area on future development projects. Stay tuned for more exciting announcements for this destination in the Greenwood Village newsletter.
The light rail is a great way to get around, but how safe is it from crime? What should you do to make sure you are not a victim of crime while riding the light rail? Our safety reporter, Erin Casey, has an inside scoop on staying safe while on a ride.
Over 35,000 people use light rail every day to commute to work, catch a Broncos or Nuggets game, or simply travel downtown for some leisure. Even though this is an efficient way to get around, light rail can pose opportunities for criminals.
Very few crime actually happens at light rail, but the type of crimes that we have had happen, we've had a few bikes that were stolen, mostly mountain bikes that were at the bike racks. As soon as we saw the trend on it, we worked collaboratively with RTD Security and the RTD Police Force, let them be aware of it. They were vigilant and watching the video cameras. As we were setting up a sting operation, lo and behold, suspect came out. The RTD Security was right on the spot, watched the suspect get off the train, followed him with the camera right up to the bike, stole the bike. By that time, we had 8 officers set up a perimeter around him. We caught the guy red-handed. Haven't had a bike theft since. We've only had 1 car that's been stolen from our parking lots. Rarely is there any kind of person-on-person type of crime. If there is, it's usually some type of an argument during a Bronco game with opposing teams after they've had a few too many. But it's rarely is there any kind of person-on-person type of crime that happens on the light rail trains or at the light rail stations.
The Greenwood Village Police Department works closely with the security team of the Regional Transportation District to prevent crime at the light rail parking lots, stations, and on the trains. And they are having a lot of success.
The relationship between RTD and Greenwood Village Police and all the other agencies is outstanding. Something can happen at the Lone Tree RTD station, security will follow them onto the train, and RTD security will call our dispatch and say, hey, the suspect that just broke into a car at the Lone Tree station is northbound on the train. Can you intercept him at the Arapahoe station? We'll send cars to the Arapahoe station, to the Orchard station, to the Bellevue station, just to make sure we capture that train. And lo and behold, we catch the suspect on the train with the stolen goods.
So the next time you ride light rail, how can you be prepared to ensure that you are not a victim of a crime or get in harm's way of a criminal? The police say it all starts with being vigilant.
Crime occurs Monday through Friday during the daytime, typically. The only other time that there's spikes is during large concerts or sporting events when the parking lots are very full. Bad guys seem to know that the people will be at the sporting event for a set period of time, and the parking lot will be rather empty at that time, and they take opportunity to prowl for victims in the parking lot. And it's actually quite easy just to walk through a parking lot and find a victim. Right here, in this car, we're standing here, there's no one around. There's a radar detector on the dash of the car. It's nothing to break this window, reach in and take that radar detector, and 10 seconds later, you're out a broken window and you've lost your radar detector. And this is just the first car that we've walked up to in the sea of cars that are out here. As you can see, many commuters travel to the light rail stations via bike instead of walking. They'll live 2 or 3 miles away, ride their bike here, lock it up with a nice strong lock, and then ride the bus or the train to downtown Denver, knowing that their bikes are safely being watched by the cameras that will deter the theft. It doesn't take long for bad guys to realize that, yeah, there's a lot of cars here, but the risk versus reward is pretty low, just simply because of the camera systems, the response, and just the collaboration between RTD and the local police forces. They just know they're not going to beat it.
Thanks for that important safety report. To report a crime that has occurred on light rail, please call the Greenwood Village Police Department at 303-773-2525. For a crime that is in progress, please call 911.
It was a night to remember at the Curtis Arts and Humanities Center in October. The Arts Council welcomed participants of the scavenger hunt and art auction for an evening to celebrate art. GV Kids Inc. News reporter McKenna Gerke was there.
This year, the Arts and Humanities Council hosted the first annual scavenger hunt. It was a great opportunity for participants to discover 15 pieces of art around the village. I'm here with Natalie Malloy. So, why are you here?
Why am I here? Well, I served on the Arts Council for a number of years, and so I hope I'm going to be able to buy a painting tonight.
I'm a firm supporter of the arts, and I love all things arts and music, and I've just always been a firm supporter of everything that goes on at the Curtis Arts and Humanities Center.
Well, I think the main thing, if you see all the people around us here, I think it does bring community together. I think it gives us as humans an opportunity to express our creativity. So I think for those two reasons it's really important.
This year, the Arts and Humanities Council hosted the first annual scavenger hunt. It was a great opportunity for participants to discover 15 pieces of art around the village.
Well, it's a scavenger hunt that started on the 4th of October, went through the 19th. It was for people to find art, public art, within the city. And we had public art at the Madden Museum. We had public art in parks, Sampson Park being one of them. We also had public art in some of the stores in the area. And people had 14 days to find, I think it was 15 pieces of art. And when they found each piece, they grabbed a tag, and the first person who found all 15 pieces brought the tags into the Curtis, and they will receive a prize tonight. The event is a success. We have a winner who identified all the pieces of public art. We have lots of people who actually identified it, but they came in after the deadline. So we have one winner, Susan Phillips. And the event is culminating tonight with this wonderful dinner, art auction, and bid items.
We're located all over the city, and actually in some of the commercial businesses, so you actually had to go in and look for them on the wall. I think the best part we enjoyed was the ones that were actually outside. We actually had to go out the one day that had really bad weather, so we just grabbed a cup of coffee early in the morning and went out searching for them.
Tonight's reception also included the Curtis Center's art auction. It's a popular fundraiser that helps the Curtis Center provide art programs to the community. I'm here with David Parvin. So, why are you here tonight?
I came to show these to see if we can get someone to have this done of their children or grandchildren and make some money for this wonderful organization. That's why we're here.
Why do you think art is important to yourself and the community?
There are so many facets to it, you know, that it gives you pleasure, and you buy what you like to look at, and so it's something that you take with you and you can enjoy it as long as you live.
If you missed this year's scavenger hunt art auction, mark your calendar for the next year at this time so you don't miss the fun and some amazing pieces of art that'll look fabulous in your own home. I'm McKenna Gerke reporting for GV Kids Inc. News.
We'll be right back.
You have a family history of diabetes. Know what it means to your health. You've just turned 50. Know what screenings you'll need to add to your annual physical. Your new parents. Know what vaccinations are recommended for your children as they grow.
Through life, you need to know what will keep you and your family healthy. Get involved, know the facts.
Because knowledge is the new doctor-recommended apple of the day.
Visit coloradoafp.org for your free Know card and begin your family health story. It's knowledge for all ages.
You're watching GV Kids Inc. News.
Work has started by the village to determine future improvements to 15 acres of open space in Greenwood Village. GV Kids Inc. news reporter Jackson Garassi is on location to tell us more about work to preserve this valuable land.
It's called the Huntington-Cayley Corridor and includes the land east of Yosemite Street at Cayley Avenue, Huntington Park, and the Cayley Pond open space. These parcels were rezoned to open space by the City Council in 2001, and the city is now developing a master plan to decide the land's future.
The purpose of the master plan for the Huntington-Cayley Corridor is to plan and design for the future uses of this important open space parcel. We'll be working with the community directly in determining what types of amenities they'd like to see in this park. There are a number of different elements that we'll be looking at through the master planning process. Included will be looking at what possible amenities the community would like to see developed in this park, whether that be gazebos, benches, playgrounds. We'll also look at the possibility of trail connections in order to provide connection from Tommy Davis Park just to the north here, all the way through this site and then on to the future Village Center development, as well as the Arapahoe Light Rail RTD station. The city is also going to be analyzing the environmental conditions of this site, which include wildlife, the wetland region, also Goldsmith Gulch, which bisects the property as well. So we'll be looking at all those different characteristics, as well as looking at view corridors and important view sheds on this property. We'll be determining future improvements through a pretty comprehensive public input process, which will include direct dialogue with all the neighboring properties as well as the neighboring subdivisions in the area. The reason that's important is because those people are the ones who will directly use this property on a routine basis. We want to make sure that they have an opportunity to have some input as to what happens on this piece of property. Once the master plan is actually developed by the Parks, Trails and Recreation Commission and then forwarded on to City Council for its ultimate approval and adoption, the city will then seek opportunities for grant funding and other funding in order to get the project moving. Some of our grant partners could include Arapahoe County Open Spaces, as well as Great Outdoors Colorado, and maybe potentially some other agencies as well. Once we do get the funding, we will then move forward with construction on the project.
The master plan process for the Huntington-Cayley Corridor will take 10 months to complete. Affected residents will be notified about the public meetings. I am Jackson Geraci reporting for GV Kids Inc. News.
The city is currently rezoning all of its parks and open space areas to be zoned as open space as a result of a ballot measure approved by voters in 2011. The ballot measure was intended to protect land designated as open space in perpetuity and prevent these lands from being sold or leased for future development. There is 249.48 acres of open space lands that exist in Greenwood Village today.
Owning a home can be a rewarding experience, but it also comes with paying those annual property taxes every year. Have you ever wondered where the money goes from the property taxes you pay? GV Kids Inc. news reporter Megan Cantor has a scoop, and you may be surprised.
Think about the community that we live in. When you left home today, you drove on several streets to get to your destination. You may have seen children playing on this playground at their school, or you may have witnessed a police car or a fire truck responding to a call for service. Many of the aspects that make our community a desirable place to work, live, and play are a direct result of the investments made by every entity listed on your property tax statement.
Property taxes are the taxes assessed on real and personal property within the county. The districts that people might see on their property tax statement include school districts such as Littleton or Cherry Creek, urban drainage districts, fire districts, sanitation, water districts, and of course the county, and then lastly, of course, the city. Property taxes are determined when the county assessor identifies a value of the property. That value is then multiplied by what's called the assessment rate, and currently that is 7.96% for residential and 29% for commercial and other personal property. That figure is then taken and multiplied by the individual district's millage, and that mill levy is actually 1/10 of 1%. In other words, 10 mills equals 1%. The Arapahoe County Treasurer is responsible for the collection of all the property taxes within the county, and at that point they distribute that to each independent and taxing entity based on the property in that jurisdiction and the associated mill rate.
Greenwood Village has one of the lowest mill levies in the Denver metro area. The village's current mill levy rate is 2.932. So how does this equate to the market value of your home, and what do you really pay to Greenwood Village?
The property tax on a $500,000 home, when the value comes in, it's multiplied by the assessment rate of 7.96%, which is roughly $39,800. That amount is then taken and multiplied by the city's mill levy of 2.932 mills, equating to $117. The City of Greenwood Village uses property tax revenues, which total about $2.6 million a year for the city, to help support the ongoing operations of the city, and those would include the maintenance of parks, trails, streets, roads. It also helps to support the services provided to the residents, such as public safety and trash removal.
Computation of property taxes may seem complicated or even cumbersome to homeowners that have to pay these taxes every year. But because of your property tax dollars, many vital services and programs are provided to the community. I am Megan Cantor for GV Kids Inc. News.
Thanks, Megan. If you have any questions about your property taxes in Greenwood Village, please call the Arapahoe County Treasurer's Office at 303-795-4550.
It's an event that has grown into a popular summer attraction every year. Our GV Kids Inc. news reporter, Danny Carr, has more on concerts at the Crescent.
This year marks the 16th annual concert of the Crescent hosted by the Goldsmith Metropolitan District. The 2012 series kicked off in June, and the music is guaranteed to keep everyone dancing. Why did you come to this event?
Because we love to come and sit out here and hear the music, and it's beautiful nights, and it's a great way to spend an evening.
Anything different?
No, we just enjoy it. Camaraderie.
Just here with our families and hanging out.
Anything else?
Just here with our friends every Tuesday.
Why do you come to these concerts every year?
Well, it's great family fun, and I'm on a date night tonight with Alex with one of my 3 children, and we thought it'd be something fun we could do together.
The free concert of the Crescent begins every year in June and runs through July. All shows are on Tuesday evenings at the Crescent Amphitheater, located near DTC Boulevard and Bellevue Avenue. It's a great venue where your entire family, except your dogs, can enjoy 9 exciting nights of fun and entertainment, with a lineup of some big names.
I think it's fun because you can see people dancing and singing.
We got some AC/DC rolling out here. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
I like all kinds of music. I don't know what kind of music this is tonight, but just came to check it out.
I like all kinds, but my favorite is reggae.
I like old funk from the 70s and 80s.
If you miss this year's event, you don't have to worry. Concert of the Crescent will be back next summer. Until then, you can kick back and groove to your favorite music at home. Just make sure you keep on dancing. I'm Danny Carr for GV Kids Inc. News.
Watch for a schedule of the 2013 concerts at the Crescent series in the Greenwood Village newsletter this coming May.
Greenwood Village is taking part in another transportation study to help improve traffic issues, this time for the Bellevue Avenue corridor. We visited with a representative of Arapahoe County to tell us more about this important plan.
The purpose of this study is to really look at what improvements need to be done to make the whole area viable and sustainable over a longer period of time. Right now, as you well know, there's a lot of congestion, operational challenges with the project, mobility, safety, and what we're trying to do is address all those issues associated with this project. The study area is essentially from Monaco on the west, DTC Boulevard on the east, Union on the north, and Berry on the south. However, as we're developing projects and potential recommended solutions, there may be impacts outside of that area, and we certainly want to take those into account. The need for the study really came about as part of understanding what the impacts are associated with this interchange. It was one of the only interchanges that wasn't addressed as part of the T-Rex project. There's a lot of development and growth that can occur within this area, both households and businesses. And from that standpoint, we wanted to have a comprehensive understanding of what those impacts would be, as well as what the existing conditions are. That generated the need for a comprehensive review of this area and this the roadway improvements, both Bellevue and the interchange. The study began in May of this year. We have gone through the existing data collection and existing conditions report, and we've already started to develop some alternatives, as well as making projections into the future as to what could be expected occurring along this corridor. So right now we're in the process of evaluating alternatives. We just had a public meeting several weeks ago in September, and as part of that we received some additional alternatives that we're currently evaluating. Those will all go through a screening process so that we can start narrowing the alternatives to address the goals of the study. From that standpoint, we will then take those forward, do some costing, phasing, and how do we connect those improvements together such that we have a comprehensive vision and plan for the corridor. The whole study should take about a year, so we're anticipating that to be completed May of 2013. So the alternatives that we've come up with so far deal with various types of modes of transportation. Some of them are vehicle related and located at the interchange. How do we configure that interchange? Some are associated with the corridor itself. Is there widening needed in the segment of Bellevue between Monaco and DTC Boulevard? What type of intersection improvements might be needed associated with that? Are there other type of transit alternatives, such as shuttles or buses? Ease of access to light rail in other communities via sidewalks for pedestrian and bicyclists. So it's a full gamut of alternatives that we're looking at to give a full multimodal view of this whole entire corridor.
The Bellevue Avenue Corridor Plan study will be completed in the fall of 2013. Funding partners include Arapahoe County, Greenwood Village, City and County of Denver, Southeast Public Improvement Metro District, and Greenwood North Metro District. Watch for details about the progress of the study in the future months ahead.
The economy was the reason for postponing the event 2 years ago, but the City Council decided this year to bring back this favorite gathering. GV Kids Inc. news reporter Molly Woodoff has all the details about this year's Fall Fest.
It is a rainy fall afternoon here in Greenwood Village for the Superhero Fall Fest. From the trick-or-treat street to the music, face painters, and art projects, this year's Superhero Fall Fest is a fabulous treat for people of all ages. So today we have here Syra and Roshan, and they're going to tell us a little bit about how they're liking the event.
It's so much fun today, and we have to do all the events inside, which makes it twice as fun.
Today has been a very fun day, except for the rain, but I liked the inside tour of the police station. Thank you.
Decorating a cookie is eating the cookie.
I'm loving it. It's really great. Even it's a little wet, but that's okay. We need the rain, and I hope everyone enjoys themselves.
Fine, having fun and getting a lot of candy.
So I'm here with Brian, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the event.
Yeah, we're having Fall Fest this year, and we've been off for a couple years, and it's been great to come back. And the City Council approved community events again for the city of Greenwood Village. We have the theme this year is superheroes, and so all the kids dress up in superhero costumes. And including that, we had the Greenwood Village Police Department and South Metro Fire, and they ran a trick-or-treat street and brought all their equipment out and everything. But unfortunately, it rained a little bit, so it kind of dampened things a little. But we brought it inside City Hall, and we're having a great time. So
thank you.
Hi.
Many of our childhood superheroes are those that we read about in comic books or watch on the big screen. And then there are those superheroes that use their superpowers every day to combat threats against humanity right here in our community. They also have a little bit of fun when they are not saving the planet. We're here with Officer Christy, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the event.
Today's event is called the Greenwood Village Police Department Open House and Fall Fest. It is an event we put on every year in October to help promote strong relationships between the community and the police department and the city of Greenwood Village.
So I'm here with Officers Jason and Sarah, and they're going to tell us why the police participate in the Fall Fest.
We like to participate in the Fall Fest because it allows us to get out into the community and have the community learn more about the police department, the services we offer, and also makes us a little more approachable to the community so that way people are happy to talk with us.
We also participate because we know how important it is to interact with the kids. So you're not afraid to talk to us. You can come and talk to us anytime.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Well, we saw this awesome simulation of a gun or a real life scenario gun simulation thing, which I aced. And we got coloring books. Amazingness.
Basically, throughout our tour, we learned about what each station in the police department represents and what they do. And in here is the booking cell, which they keep the people in here, and they enter their information on the computers. Downstairs is where all the cops hang out, basically, and they have briefing rooms and gathering rooms and desks where they do their reports. And then they have the 911 dispatch, which dispatches all the calls, and they receive phone calls when people call 911, and they can tell exactly where it came from.
I've been liking the event. I think there's a lot of fun activities here. I especially like the walking around the police department. Thought that was pretty cool.
All right, there we go, and oh, there it was. Nobody blinked? Good. All right, good job, guys. Thank you very much.
Brennan and Samantha, judging from today, this Superhero Fall Fest stole the likings of everyone here that they can't wait until next year's Fall Fest event.
Molly, any chance Christian Bale was there in his Batman costume?
No, from what I was told, Christian Bale had another commitment and couldn't make it, but there were many other superheroes and other characters in costume here today that just made it a fun event for everyone.
Greenwood Village is an even more safe community due to a strategic plan by the police department to go after criminals in our city this past summer. Our GV Kids Inc. news reporter, Harrison Miller, went on an assignment to uncover the details of the police department's special task force to put criminals behind bars.
It takes a police department to keep a village safe, and the GVPD is committed to doing just that. This past summer, a team of officers known as the Summer Impact Team worked together to prevent a crime in the village, a critical mission that served a great purpose.
The purpose of the Summer Impact Team is to do just that, impact and reduce crime. Our goal was to focus resources in a way to deploy them into areas where we could not only affect and reduce crime, but then in the future prevent crime.
Officer Tony Coscarella, a 13-year veteran with the police department, led the Summer Impact Team during their 14-week mission. The work included some great achievements and important lessons learned along the way, but overall they made a difference for the safety of citizens.
As the team leader for the Impact Team, our strategy going into the summer was to have a group of officers that was not necessarily tied to radio calls, that we were flexible enough to change our hours, change our positioning in the city, go to certain areas where patterns might be occurring, where we had a lead on a suspect, and just flood the area in that area in locating that suspect. We would devote the time and resources, and it was very, very fruitful. We arrested a lot of people that were committing crimes in Greenwood Village. The impact team was involved in several major events. We got a lead from our detectives that there was a subject that was stealing mail from houses in Greenwood Village and also in Cherry Hills, and had committed credit card fraud of up to $100,000 worth of theft, of credit card fraud and identity theft. 9 victims were Greenwood Village specific victims. We got that information that the suspect may be coming into our neighborhoods the next morning. We were able to take our group of officers and scout out that area the night before, come up with a game plan, and the next morning we deployed dressed as parks workers. We had orange shirts, we had the green trucks, we weren't dressed in police uniforms, we were hiding in plain sight, and we sat there for 6 or 7 hours, and lo and behold, he pulled up, he parked less than 40, 50 feet away from us, looked right at us, gave us a nod as he walked by, we gave him a nod as he walked on into the neighborhood. We had other officers setting up surveillance, waiting for him to go up to the mailboxes, and lo and behold, he went to the first mailbox, took the stolen credit card, went to the second mailbox, took the stolen credit card. In that time period, we were able to put our police vest on and surround him and get him into custody without incident, without injury to anybody. And we were able to solve a crime, trend that had impacted many, many residents in Greenwood Village and Cherry Hills and also in Arapahoe County. The impact team lasted for 14 weeks, starting in middle of May, went to the middle of August. During that time period, with the 3 officers and me as a team leader, we were able to apprehend and arrest 129 suspects during that time period, just our team alone. That's not including arrests that patrol and detectives have made here. Impact team only, 129 arrests. We focused on 3 areas. We focused on where criminals or bad guys are staying in the city, and that's usually in the efficiency hotels in the I-25 corridor in their city. How they get here, that's oftentimes through light rail or by vehicle, and how they get around once they are here. So that's oftentimes by foot, so like jaywalking violations, and by bike. The guys on the mountain bikes are driving around the neighborhoods searching cars that are unlocked. They find a car that's unlocked, they break into the car, they steal the person's wallet or items out of the car, they throw it in their backpack, and within 30 seconds they're on the bike paths in the neighborhoods and out of the neighborhood. And we, normal patrol officers don't have the ability to drive the bike paths and find them, but we do have the ability to contact them because they have their headlight out. So we make a traffic stop on the guys with the bikes, and I was amazed as to how fruitful that was, that we were able to locate stolen items in backpaths before the people even realized that they were victimized. We also focused on prevention. So if you have a criminal in the area, the best way to combat the criminal is a good defense. So what we need to have is our residents to lock their car doors, keep their lights on at night, make sure that their walkways up to their houses are clear. If we can all work together, we will all lessen the amount of crime in Greenwood Village.
Anything we do on a proactive measure makes Greenwood Village safer. Safety is a huge priority for the residents, both commercial and residential pieces to Greenwood Village. And we're working very, very hard to keep it safe here. And it's efforts like these and the dedicated effort that these officers put to this that do make it safer for everyone to be here.
Greenwood Village is a safe community, and the police department wants to keep it that way. Criminals better think twice before coming to Greenwood Village to commit crimes, because the police department will be waiting for you. Reporting from the police department headquarters, I'm Harrison Miller. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Harrison, for that special safety report. Residents are reminded by the police department to always report suspicious behavior by calling 911. It's better to be safe than sorry.
What started as a one-day event in the USA back in 1997 has evolved into an international event that promotes children to safely walk and bike to school. It is called Walk to School Day, and our own Greenwood and Bellevue elementary schools, along with the village, took part this year with record-breaking participation.
Walk to School Day is actually a national event that takes place on October 3rd, and this year we teamed up with two schools. We did Bellevue Elementary School on October 2nd, and then we did Greenwood Elementary on October 3rd. So the whole idea is to really promote wellness to the schools by encouraging them to walk to school rather than actually ride a bus or to carpool. After we were done decorating posters, what we did is we got the kids into their groups by grades, and then we got them in line to start walking. Mayor Rakowski was there. He gave a speech. He kind of got everybody like geared up and everything. And so once we had the kids in line with the mayor right in front with parents and teachers and staff members from Greenwood Village, we all started our walks to the school. Well, overall, it's a great opportunity for us as the city to work with the schools, because then it's almost like networking. It's a good partnership. They know what we're doing and that we support the schools and vice versa. And plus, most of us, we work a lot with the kids. We know the kids and everything. So it's just a great way to do something outside of the city and go to and work at the schools.
I came to Bellevue's Walk to School event because it's just really cool to be able to walk to school since I live so far away.
I came to Bellevue's Walk to School event today so I could have fun with my friends.
Because I want to meet the Greenwood Village mayor, and I want to walk to school one day.
Walking and biking to school is important because it helps you stay in shape, and it's just as important as eating healthy.
It was a great success. For each school, we had about 150 to 200 kids at each one. So it's just getting bigger and bigger each year. It not only, promotes walking to school, but biking and scooting to school as well. So it's just a great way to show like another way of, being healthy.
If your school is interested in participating in Walk to School Day in 2013, you can visit their website at www.walkbiketoschool.org for information on how to form your own school event.
Oftentimes, some of those great programs in our community go unnoticed. Our GV Kids Inc. news reporter, McKenna Nading, visited with a local organization to see how some amazing horses are making a difference in the lives of people.
It is called therapeutic horseback riding, and the novel idea came to the United States from Europe in the middle of the 20th century. A winning dressage rider who was physically impaired with polio and won a silver medal in the 1952 Olympics was the impetus for Path International and the different equestrian activities they provide to benefit people with special needs.
Heartstrings and Hoofbeats is a nonprofit therapeutic horseback riding center based here in Greenwood Village. We provide therapeutic riding. We also provide recreational equine therapy. It's a great program. We're affiliated with PATH International, which is the Professional Association for Therapeutic Horsemanship. It used to be called NARA, which is North American Riding for the Handicapped. But as we began to do a lot more, like hippotherapy, and we got counselors involved, and physical therapists, and occupational therapists, and speech therapists, we needed a little bit bigger name. Horses provide therapeutic assistance in a variety of different ways. First off, and this is what intrigued everyone in the beginning of this program, was that the walk of the horse perfectly mimics the human walk. So they used it originally for like children with and adults with traumatic brain injuries, with cerebral palsy, just to kind of start getting that motion back. Okay, because there's really no other exercise that perfectly mimics how we walk. The second part is they're just good for you. They're just really freeing, and a lot of times if you have challenges in your life, and it can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be mental. I have some caregivers that come, and this is their outlet because they don't get out enough. They don't get out on a beautiful day. They don't get a chance to come out here and enjoy a very soothing animal. The Kango, the big brown one in particular, I use with children that have ADHD or anxiety issues. In fact, I used it with a stroke survivor yesterday because he was very nervous. But she just has an extremely calming effect to her. as you can tell just by looking at her. Nothing gets her very excited. So they really help us in many, many ways. We're trying to get away from just anecdotal results where somebody says, wow, it's changed my life, to actually being able to do statistical analysis to show that perhaps we were able to get more recovery.
So what age group is eligible to be in this organization?
In general, I try not to work with clients that are younger than 2, just because it could be not helpful for them. Then some clients that have Down syndrome, of course, we're going to need a doctor's release. But otherwise, I've had clients that are up into their 80s. So it really, there is no constriction that way, and we don't have a constriction when it comes to the challenges they're facing. If I intake a new client and they say, well, this one has autism, well, that's just a label, okay? That doesn't tell me who this child is. So that's just kind of a starting point, and it's probably the last time we'll talk about that child having autism or Asperger's. We'll kind of use it as a base point, a starting point, and go on from there to customize therapy for them.
I'm here with Catherine. So Catherine, tell us a cool, interesting fact about horses.
Well, they walk on I think on their middle toe, like on their toenail.
Oh, that's cool. So what's your learning goal for today?
Just basically how to get onto a horse and without falling off.
What do you like about horses?
Well, they're not really too aggressive.
We're with John. So John, why are you here today?
I'm here to help horses. I'm here to ride a horse and groom them.
Did you know that horses can drink up to 12 gallons of water each day?
If you are interested in learning more about Path International, you can visit their website or call their local center, Heartstrings and Hoofbeats, here on Peoria Street.
On that positive note, this marks the end of our GV Kids Inc. news program today. And I'm Sammy Ginsberg.
And I'm Brendan Beaver. Thank you for watching GV Kids Inc. News.